Hey everyone, this is Living Well with Thomas, and for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to tie your shoes. Maybe you don't know how to tie your shoes, or you used to know how to tie your shoes and you forgot. Or maybe you still do know how to tie them, but you just aren't doing it well and they keep coming untied. Or maybe you keep tripping and falling over your own laces and just want to get back to those fundamentals of tying your shoes. So, whatever the case may be, I will be bringing you this information so that you can tie your shoes and walk freely, knowing that your shoes are secured to your body. So, to give you guys a quick rundown of the video, first I will be going over this important information and demonstrating exactly how you can tie your shoes. Next, I will cover the benefits of why it is best to wear shoes that have been tied and not untied. Then I'll go over a cautionary tale about the dangers of untied shoes, and you guys aren't going to want to miss that one, as it'll definitely bring the message home and show you guys why it's very important to tie your shoes. So, without further ado, let's get this video moving. So to set the stage for you guys, as you can see, I'm in my computer chair here at my office, and see I got my computer chair mat below me. And if you watch some of my previous videos, you may already know that Monday through Friday, I sleep at my office in my computer chair, and I just love that. And so right now is after hours, and as you can see, I have some sweatpants on, as leadership does, in fact, allow us to wear a pajama type pant if we will be sleeping in our computer chairs for the night. So I'm really grateful for that and enjoy taking full advantage of that privilege to wear a pajama type pant to sleep instead of my office slacks. Next, you can see that I do have my black leather business shoes on, as you can see them here. I'll be using these to demonstrate the shoe tying. And the reason I opted for these black leather business shoes and my black leather business shoes is that, maybe some of you guys watching that are learning how to tie your shoes for the first time are doing so as you've been ordered by your work leadership to tie your office shoes. So I figured that could help in the learning process to see the laces being tied on a leather office shoe. So, without further ado, we're going to get into teaching you guys how to tie your shoes. As you can see here, I got one shoe that's tied and one shoe that's untied. And point of that being is that, as you can see, one on the left, I'm going to be walking. Laces are up on the top, not hanging down. One on the right, you start walking. Left comes in, and you fall. Don't want that to happen, especially not at work. If you're going, elevator's broken at your office and trip and fall down steps, and it's not going to be pretty, especially with the momentum. Keep taking you down the next flight of steps, and if you watch one of my videos, you know that happened not because of an untied shoe, but because of a different reason. His legs gave out, but one of our work family members, he tripped and fell down two flights of steps. So I'm getting a little broke up, but so you don't want the thing is, the main point is you just don't want to fall. So I'm going to show you guys how to keep your shoes tied, like this shoe on the left, so avoid falling, and don't want the right. Laces flying all over the place, and it's a big hazard. So what we're going to do is we're going to untie the one on the left so we can show you how to tie both shoes. So first, let's just unlace this one on the left. So I'm going here. Tied this one nice and good. So it takes a little bit to unlace that. Takes a little bit to unlace. That means that you must have tied it real good. So and this one, just loosen it up a little bit. So shows you guys the full process of tying your shoes. As you can see, guys, we got the shoes fully untied now. And so many of you, if you never tied your shoes before, and you got into this point where you get your shoes on and they're just, the laces are here, and it's kind of intimidating. Everything's going all over the place. You got coming out holes over here, and this is going on. Everything's crisscrossing one over the other. Same thing on the other shoe. And then this one's going this way at a diagonal, and that's diagonal the other way. And it's just, you don't know where to begin. So I'm going to show you guys step by step what to do. So you got your shoes on and what the first thing is. So, well, first thing we're going to bring one shoe into view. So we're going to use the, sorry guys, I got the back pain. If you're watching my videos, I got that sharp back pain. Oh my god. Hold on a sec. All right, so I just gotta get into position and stay there, and back won't be screaming anymore. All right, so we're just gonna bring one foot into view, so show you guys, you can concentrate just so you're not distracted by the other foot on the side, and concentrate on just tying one shoe at a time. So that's one important thing to note, is that when you're tying your shoes, you want to make sure you're just tying one at a time. And if you try and tie both at the same time, you might end up tying one lace to the other and tie your shoes together, and you definitely don't want that to happen. Got your shoes tied together, that's going to be a big mess when you try to get up to walk. So you're going to want to concentrate on just tying one shoe at a time. So pick either the left or the right, doesn't matter. Which way you kind of feels more comfortable to you. I usually choose the left, and I'd say that's probably because maybe it has to do with the way we read. We read English and left to right, and I'm not 100% sure, but I just like that left foot first. So I'm going to show you guys how to tie your left shoe. Oh, here we go. It's getting into doing this, and first you want to start obviously up here. This is where we're going to finish here at the ends of the lace. So you want to start at the opposite end, and see this going across here. This is where all the lacing begins. So you want to find the next laces, and you just want to pull them tight, and make sure they're comfortable, but you want to make sure they're also secure. So there's one thing that leadership has always told us, is that you want to make sure that your shoes are secure on your feet, because if they're not tied secure, and then that's almost just as bad as having unlaced shoes. So, and that has to do with if your leadership has directed you to tie your office shoes. So they want to prevent any accidents from happening. As if there's an accident and you get injured, then you're not going to be able to do your life's work for them. So pull this. See these laces coming here, and as you can see, they're coming out. They come through these holes, and you want to pull. So this is going to make this cross part tighter. So laces are coming through the hole on this side. That side, that's going to start that overlapping, layering, laced, shoe tied, two tying. How the makers of the shoes have instructed you to tie your shoes. So pull these tight, and that's going to pull this area right here tighter, and bring the shoe closer together and make it tighter on your foot. So whatever feels comfortable, you just pull right there. Then you go to this area where the loops are, and you pull that again. Now, if you end up getting lost, I know I'm getting into a lot right here. You end up getting lost, always rewind this video. So just rewind and go back and trying to cover every step here. So I got this sharp back pain scream, but that's okay. So we're just gonna keep going. Got to bring you guys this information. So pull here, and then just do the same thing on the way up. go to the next area where you could pull some slack and pull to whatever's comfortable and secure. In here. And we're getting towards finishing by our toes. Pull them here. Alright, so now we're here at the top part now. This is probably where most people, now I know this is where most people are trying to learn how to tie their shoes. They'll give up at this part because, you know, this down here is a little bit more straightforward than this. There's all different ways to do it. Yeah, everyone's got their own opinion. And sometimes people just get overwhelmed and they don't know where to begin. So they'll just bring them up like this. And this is how you got what I showed you guys before. You got the shoes tight, but you got them just hanging like this. And that's a tripping hazard. So now, like I said, there's all different ways to finish off tying your shoes here. But I only know one way, and I'm going to show you guys that. And that has gotten the job done for me for years. So, and I always tie my office shoes, and I haven't had them come off yet. So I'd say it's been pretty successful. So you take both laces and kind of bring them up, and you remember you're using the fingers on your hands. You don't want to use your palms here, and you want to be able to use the fingers on your hands because we're going to have a lot going on. So you want to have control over what's going on. So pants are getting in the way here. But just starting to try to figure out how to explain this to you guys the best. You go back behind and you kind of make an X. And you come down under the X, and now you guys can go back and rewind this if you know, if kind of lose where I'm at, so you can see that parts over and over again. So really kind of drill it home on how to do this. So you come make the X, and you come around, and then you got this part after you wrapped it around from the X. I'll show you guys a couple more times. Then you just pull it like this, and then it kind of mimics this effect of these ones, these overlapping ones over here, and you kind of feel it. You can feel it tighten on your shoe, and we're almost there. So, and how we're going to finish this off so it doesn't come undone. And if you just left it like this, it's going to come undone. So, don't want that coming undone. So you just do that and say it's just, see, look, you move your, and it's coming undone. It's coming undone. So you don't want it coming undone. So, back to where we were, pull them, and then we're going to do like this. Take the end, make like a loop, like a circle, and then you kind of make sure it's still kind of on there, and still got that pressure, keeping your shoes tied secure. And this is the most complicated part. Bring this part around and wrap it around. See, you wrap it around, and then it's going to create a little space down here under that wrap. It's a circle. It's going to be another circle, not this circle, but the other circle. And you're going to pull that through, and there you go. That's finished. And you could always do a double knot, which is the same thing. You repeat the same process, but with the two loops here. And see, this kind of went loose because I was kind of trying to showing you guys slow. So we'll kind of this a little more secure so we don't fall over and trip. Our shoes don't come flying off our feet. Show you guys in real time. And there you go. You pull them, and you got your office shoes tied. Well, you got, well, not both of them. You got your left shoe. So now we're going to move on to the right. All right, guys. So now we got the right foot in view. So I show you how to tie the left shoe, and now we're going to show you guys how to tie the right shoe. So basically, it's the same thing, but as you can see, it's on the right foot. So and the laces, they're overlapping the opposite way. That's most of the shoe manufacturers, at least on these leather office shoes. It's kind of, I'll bring my left in. Oh, sorry guys. Bring my left in view here. And as you can see, it's kind of opposite the way it's not like this one's going over and this one's going under this side, and this is over, that's under. So I guess it makes sense because, the right foot is kind of opposite of the left foot, and, I guess that's how they did it. So I'm going to show you guys, and I'm not going to go and do as a thorough explanation as the left foot is, as the same applies to the left, also applies to the right. So I'm going to show you in real time, give you a demonstration in real time how to. Oh, one thing I didn't cover, and this is a good thing to cover, you want to kind of pull that tongue before you start. You're going to pull that tongue. Pull that tongue before you start, so you don't get that all bunched up down there, and get the slack out, and get a good tie, nice secure tie on those shoes. So in there and start pulling them. So you can identify where they are, where the laces are, where the start is, and I'm gonna start pulling them tight. So start pull them tight. Here we go. Show you in real time, guys. Show you guys in real time how to tie your office shoes, or any shoes, but this applies just to office shoes right now. But this applies to any shoe. But I'm tying my office shoes. Nice, comfortable, and secure. I think I kind of am demonstrating how the shoes are untied. So you see the one loop is a lot bigger than the other, but that's okay. We got to make this a little bit tighter anyway, so I'm gonna pull them tight. Yeah, we don't want to strip them fall, so you guys, we can do this up here and I'll show you guys. There it is. 2 office shoes tied up, nice secured on your feet, not going anywhere. So I hope you guys enjoy learning or relearning, if you had forgot, how to tie your shoes. Next, I'm going to go over the benefits of why shoe tying is important and give you guys a cautionary tale of the dangers of untied shoes. So the first benefit is that if your shoes are tied, then they are less likely to slip off. Next benefit is that you will not have laces hanging down on the ground and whipping all over the place as you walk. And, then if they hang down low enough and down the floor, as I demonstrated earlier in my video, then you step on your own shoelace and you end up tripping and falling. And that's what brings me to my cautionary tale of why wearing untied shoes is dangerous. So, a couple of years ago at my job, my boss, he would never tie his office shoes at all. And as he's a very hard worker, and he wanted to get to work as quick as he could. So he thought, why would he waste time tying his shoes when he can be using that time to do more work for leadership? And that's a noble reason. I will admit that's a very, very good reason, because we love our leadership. But so he would just throw his shoes on in the morning, and this is without socks as well, as he figured putting on socks is harmful towards leadership, as it is not time efficient either. So he would do that every day. And one day, he got to the office in the morning, he parked his car and got out and saw this 15-year-old kid skateboarding through our office parking lot. This was the summer, so school was out. So my boss, being the loyal employee that he is, he started to berate the kid for skateboarding through the parking lot. And he told him how important our work for leadership is, and that we can't have any distractions going on outside that will distract us from our work. And he screamed at the kid, and he said, what if our leadership was visiting our office location? You could fall and damage one of their vehicles. And at this point, with all the yelling, you can hear my boss yelling, I was already in the office that day, and me and a bunch of my coworkers who were there, we heard the commotion outside and went to a window to see what was going on. So then my boss, he went on to explain the importance of our work and that skateboarding in the parking lot will be harmful to us. He also told the kid to look at the sign outside our complex and to see what the company name is on there. And then he yelled, he said, "Do you understand how important this is?" And then after that the kid cut him off and said, "Yeah, this piece of garbage company laid my father off 6 months ago with no severance, and he hasn't been able to find work since." And then he said, "Your leadership are a bunch of worthless losers." And that was a straw that broke the camel's back for my boss. My boss he's so loyal to our leadership, and he loves our company so much that just he became flushed red with anger, and he went to run up to the kid and to hit him in the face. Well, and so he went to run up to the kid, and just as he was about to get to the kid, he kind of shuffled his feet to slow down because he ramped him. He's trying to shuffle to slow down, and he's getting ready to take a big swing at him. And as he did that, his feet became close enough to each other, because he was shuffling them, slowing down, that he stepped on one of his shoelaces that was hanging, as his other foot was about to come up for his next step, and he tripped and fell forward towards the kid. And since the kid saw my boss coming, he kind of jumped back and he evaded him, and the boss ended up falling flat on his face on the hot parking lot asphalt. And then, sorry guys, this is tough one to get through, but this is a bad event. And then after my boss, he fell on the ground. And after the fall, he tried to get up and attack the kid again. And at that point, the kid he hit my boss in the face, and I remember I saw all this from the window in my complex. We were watching this happen, so I know what happened. And he hit my boss with a kind of like a quick left, like a jab punch, and hit him in the face with it. And then he hit him with a big right hand punch, and then my boss it kind of caught his legs gave out from under him, and then he rolled backwards. So at that point, my boss he rolled on his back onto the ground, and the kid, he was just enraged, and he rushed my boss and got on top of him, and he just kept hitting him, and it was he unleashed like a flurry of punches and to my boss's face while he was on the ground. And that luckily at that point it gotten so out of control at that point that there's such a commotion, yelling, and people were trying to say, there's a fight outside, and someone's getting hurt. And luckily in our office complex there's security guards, and they heard all the commotion, and they came rushing over, and they grabbed the 15-year-old kid off of my boss, and they ended the melee. Well, so with all that being said, long story short, my boss he ended up getting charges against him for trying to attack the kid. And the kid obviously he got off with no trouble, of course, as he was just defending himself against my boss. And the kid didn't have any injuries, but unfortunately my boss, he had a bunch of cuts and bruises on his face and for a while, and he also had a few of his teeth knocked out. And now, while I don't condone my boss's actions against the 15-year-old kid, I do understand his perspective, as the love for our leadership and our company, it runs deep for all the members of our work family. And so I guess the 15-year-old saying those terrible things about our company and and leadership just enraged my boss. And as our jobs are our life's mission, and they're everything to us. We dedicate our lives to our leadership, and we spend our days and our nights and our computer chairs and hard at work to remain productive for them. And we're a hardworking and passionate team. So that all being said, I can see how he was just enraged as a kid was disrespecting our leadership and all the important work that we do sitting in our computer chairs. But really, to kind of bring this all together, is that the whole point of this story is that a boss said that he would not have lost the fight had he not tripped and fell on his untied shoelaces while running up to that kid and taking a swing at him. And I believe him. As my boss, he is a strong and powerful worker. He puts in 14-hour days in his computer chair just like me, and he also only changes his diaper once a day and never steps away from his desk for lunch. He's very dedicated. He's a strong and mighty man. He spends his days driving hard to increase productivity and profit margins for our leadership. But with all that being said, it actually ended up being a good thing that he didn't physically hit the kid, as his charges would have been worse. So, but the point is that maybe one day you're at your job, and an outsider, and you're in the parking lot like my boss was, and an outsider starts making remarks about your leadership or your company, and you have to defend your leadership in a physical altercation. You definitely don't want to have your shoes tied or not tie them untied. You don't want to have you want to have them tied, of course. You don't want to have them untied, as you do not want to fall down and then get beat up like how my boss got beat up by the 15-year-old. So always make sure to tie those shoes, and always reference this video if you ever forget how to tie your shoes, or just have any questions about what the correct way is to do it. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video today and now know how to tie your shoes, as well as having an understanding of the importance of tying your shoes. And as always, if you are interested in more ways to improve your life, just check out my other videos and stay tuned for the next one. So for now, this has been Living Well with Thomas, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.